Hi there. So this episode is going to be a little different than the usual because I'm going to just talk about my healing practice and get into the daily routine that I call my healing journey so that I can illuminate for you why healing is productive, why it's liberating and joyful for me every day. So in this episode, I'm just going to divulge my daily healing practice and through it share why I love my healing journey and practice, why I prioritize it, why my daily healing practice has completely transformed my mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual health and my life, and why I continue to commit myself to it with eagerness and with a deepening devotion, because it continues to prove that the more that I heal, the more my reality becomes anchored and aligned with not only my highest self, but my highest purpose, my highest health and happiness and bliss and magic. And so I also want to share my daily healing practice because too often what gets shared are stories of struggle and that constant narrative that I hear all the time that healing is hard. Just so over it, because healing doesn't need to be hard. Healing by definition is the opposite of hard. Healing by definition is a reclamation of your freedom, of your wholeness, of your well-being. All of that is a joyful progress and development and unfolding of who you truly are. So that's what this episode is going to be about. I'm going to break down what my healing practice entails every day, hopefully to inspire you, hopefully to expand your perception of what a healing journey and practice can be, how it can be productive, how it can be joyful and easy on a daily basis. Welcome to The Simple Source, your source for all things self-love, self-healing, personal growth, and spirituality. I'm your host, Linda Valines. I used to be chronically sick and unhappy. I spent years trying anything and everything to heal, but I never got better. It wasn't until my late husband was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer that I finally stopped searching for the answers outside of myself and turned within. I taught myself how to truly love and heal myself, how to finally be authentically healthy and happy, mind, body, and soul. I have over 10 years of personal and professional self-healing and teaching experience. I'm a trauma-informed, certified holistic health and wellness coach, certified Ayurveda counselor, and author. I healed myself of a lifetime of complex traumas and chronic conditions with joy and ease. Now I'm teaching you to do the same. So if you're ready to heal and love yourself more, mind, body, and soul, without all the struggle and stress, and with more joy and productivity, join me to liberate your highest, healthiest, and happiest self and learn how to thrive more simply. Let's get started with today's episode. So, unconditional self-love and all that entails, which is radical self-acceptance, self-forgiveness, self-compassion, patience, self-respect, etc., all of it. That is the foundation of my daily healing practice. It's the foundation of my healing in general. Unconditional love is essential and fundamental to a productive and enjoyable and authentic healing journey. It's the groundwork that my entire healing and personal growth and spiritual journeys are rooted in and built upon. And that's why anything and everything that I do that is related to healing, that is a part of my personal development and spirituality, is enjoyable, is productive, regardless of the outcome, regardless of what it entails. And because my relationship with myself is loving, is unconditionally loving, which means it's healthy, which means it's authentic, and having that be the center of my entire healing journey and practice fundamentally makes it way more enjoyable, far more easy, and exponentially more productive. Because one, I'm not healing for anybody else. I am not evolving for anyone else. I'm healing for me. I'm liberating myself for myself. Not only am I motivated to heal from unconditional self-love, which is so self-empowering, that means that my relationship with myself is so much easier. That, of course, translates into my healing being so much more easy and enjoyable and productive because I'm not self-judging. I'm not self-shaming. I'm fully accepting of all parts of myself. And I forgive all parts of myself. And I don't relate to myself in a non-loving way. Now, this is not the same thing as me allowing myself to make reckless choices and do whatever I want because I love myself and I don't judge myself or shame myself. That's not what that means. Of course, I'm always choosing to align with my authentic self and my health and my happiness and my highest well-being. But the point is, my healing journey, my evolution, the whole development of me embodying more and more of my full potential to be radiantly healthy and happy and divine, mind, body, and soul is fundamentally so much more productive and easy and enjoyable because my relationship with myself is not only healthy, it is unconditionally self-loving. So that means when I make a mistake, I give myself love. That means when I'm not feeling my best, I give myself love. It means I do not relate to myself or speak to myself with contention, with aggression, with impatience, or from an unconscious trauma narrative and wounded way where I am diminishing myself, where I am abandoning myself, because that innately is not healing. So when I invest my time and my energy into healing, into my spirituality or my personal development, and some practice with some activity, my motivation to do so is, again, rooted in love for myself. I'm healing for myself because I love myself. It comes from a love for my highest self. It comes from a love for my inner child, my outer child, which is my inner teenager. I'm motivated by love for my future self, for my present self. It's all love that motivates me because fundamentally, my healing journey is rooted in a practice of unconditional self-love. That means I'm not motivated by fear, which is what motivates so many people on their healing journeys. And that's why fundamentally my healing experience is joyful, why it's not a burden, why I don't have to force myself to make healing choices or engage in healing practices, because every action I take is motivated by love. And it truly makes all the difference on a healing journey. And I discuss this in detail in my book, which I highly recommend that you read. But so many people embark on a healing journey out of fear that they are going to be found out as unlovable, fear that they're going to be found out as broken or unworthy. And then that means that they just fundamentally believe that who they are as they are is not enough, that they're not whole in themselves. They're a bad person. You know, people heal so often out of a fear of their own shame, a fear of their own traumas, a fear of their own identities, meaning who they think that they are. That fear is such an unhealthy, toxic motivator for change or for growth or transformation, because it means that your wounded self is driving your actions, is making choices for you, is behaving for you. And if your wounded self is behind the wheel, then how can you heal when you're being led to experience the same problems and patterns and disempowered relationships rooted in limiting beliefs about yourselves that are rooted in wounded perceptions of who you are? Actually did a whole episode about why healing as your authentic self is a completely different journey than trying to heal as your wounded self. So I recommend going back to the start of the show and listening or watching that episode, because so many people struggle to heal because they're healing as their wounded self. And like, do you see the paradox in that? Like, you can't show up for your life in a wounded way and heal. So self-love and love itself are my foundation. They're my motivation first and foremost. And that's why my healing journey is always productive. It's always enjoyable. It's always easy because my relationship with myself is productive and easy and enjoyable. I don't have to force myself to do anything. I'm not motivated by like, you have to do that, Linda, or people are going to see that you're a bad person and that you're ugly and incapable and broken. That does not drive my healing journey. My healing journey is driven by a deep love for myself, a deep respect for myself, a deep love for my mind, a deep respect for my body, a deep reverence for my soul. So another pillar of my daily healing practice is consistency. My practice is a practice. I show up every single day for my healing, for my growth, for my evolution. I take no days off. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm always like, quote unquote, healing, like doing a healing thing. That just means that I'm always, when I say always, I mean every single day, every single moment relating to myself, to my life, to my healing journey, to the moment in a healing and self-loving way. That's consistency. And because of that, it has been easy for me to develop and maintain daily self-care practices, daily spiritual practices. Because of that, self-care, self-love, spirituality, personal development, they're all effortlessly integrated into my everyday life. Because the consistency in which I choose to relate to myself, to my life, and to the moment with so much self-love makes it easy. Again, because I'm not motivated by a fear of being abandoned or being found out as being broken or having to fix myself. My choices are rooted in love for myself. It's a monumentally different way of not only showing up for yourself, but showing up for your life. Also, another pillar of my daily healing practice is I don't compartmentalize my healing, my spirituality, my personal growth from the rest of my life. They're completely ingrained into my everyday, into my being, into my existence. Because I'm not only consistent, but I consistently integrate my healing, my spirituality, my personal growth into the full spectrum of my day. A lot of people compartmentalize their healing, their self-care, their personal growth efforts, etc. You know, for this half hour on Sunday, I'm going to journal or I'm going to do a meditation. This day of the week or twice a week, I'm going to go to yoga. And for the rest of the week, it's just the rest of the week. You know, it's back to the same old, being disconnected from my body, being disconnected from my inner truth, being disconnected from my emotions, not practicing self-awareness, not being present in my body, just back to the grind, back to the multitasking, back to the numbing and trying to forget how miserable you are. And that is such a big reason why people struggle to heal, because they are compartmentalizing their healing like they do the rest of their lives. You know, I've spent 20 minutes journaling this week, or, you know, I did a meditation this week, or, you know, I watched some video on Gaia, and that's me filling my healing quota for the week. And then it's just back off to the races we go. And if you approach your healing journey that way, if you think that you're going to achieve authentic and lasting and transformative healing that way, you are going to be waiting your entire lifetime to heal. Because healing is not a result of engaging with yourself, with your mind, with your body, with your soul, with your reality in that way. Healing not only requires genuine commitment, meaning you have to invest your time and your energy. You have to invest yourself to it in order for you to experience a result. You know, it's like you want to learn how to play the piano, but you only spend 15 minutes a week. Like, it's going to take you a really long time to learn how to play the piano well, because that's not a lot of time to develop a skill. And I think 100% healing is a skill. And I talk about this in the beginning of the show. It requires skills, and you have to develop skills. If you want to enjoy healing, you have to develop the skills that healing entails. And that also requires integration. If you're not integrating your healing, meaning you're not assimilating, reconciling, putting into regular practice, synthesizing, normalizing, and reinforcing new patterns of existence, then you're not actually healing. You're like, it's like the equivalent of trying to become super proficient at something that you're a novice in, and like spending 15 minutes a week on it, the results are going to be limited. You have to approach healing that way. I mean, if you're not going to invest the time in it, if you're not going to be consistent with it, what you put in is what you get out of it. Sure, spending 15 minutes a week is better than spending 0 minutes a week. But if you want meaningful change, you have to show up for your healing in a meaningful way. So yeah, another pillar of my healing practice is integration. I'm consistently available to my healing. I'm unpacking it. I'm curious about it. I'm refining it. I'm actively participating on a daily basis with my healing. And it's not something that I just think about for 15 minutes a day and then move on with. And it's like, what was that show? Or this work thing, this work project. And oh, there's my dog. And I'm talking to this person. I don't move through the world that way anymore. Now, that doesn't mean that I am consumed by healing and it's all I think about and my entire day is spent healing. No, I'm a solo entrepreneur with multiple major projects that I am simultaneously developing, nurturing, and growing that demand a significant amount of time and focus and energy and engagement. If you've ever built and run a business by yourself, you get it. The shit is intense. It's all encompassing. It's a major fucking commitment. So I'm not just spending every day just immersed in my healing journey. Of course, I have other things in my life. However, I am able to show up for my purpose with sufficient time and focus and energy and dedication and engagement because healing has been prioritized. It has been integrated into my life, which means I have the energy to show up for my purpose, which means I am fully present when I am engaged with my purpose because I am not only in a self-loving, self-empowered relationship with myself, but I am self-regulated. I'm operating in my fullest clarity, my fullest health, my fullest joy. I have released what needed to be released. So I'm truly present with my purpose as my whole authentic self with my highest expression of energy and embodiment. And a lot of people don't understand that. It's like, well, healing takes so much time. I have all of this other stuff. But when you prioritize your healing and you integrate your healing, all of the other stuff in your life is going to become so much easier and so much more enjoyable because you're liberated to show up for those activities in your life with way more health, clarity, energy, vitality, joy, and understanding of who your whole authentic self is. So you can embody your whole authentic self in every single moment of your life. So I did this, actually calculated this. On average, I spend 45 minutes every single day, quote unquote, healing. Okay. Yes. On average, every day I spend 45 minutes. So that includes journaling. That includes both my sitting meditation and my theta healing meditations. That includes my emotional release. That includes my vocalized somatic exercises. That's it. All of that takes on average 45 minutes a day. That's it. I'm not spending 2 hours, 3 hours every day, quote unquote, healing. So yes, I journal every single day. I journal for about 5 minutes in the morning. I journal for about 10 minutes at the end of the day. I journal everything. I love journaling. It's such a massive part of my healing process. It's such a massive part of my healing and how I've developed such a self-empowering relationship with myself, because I've nurtured a relationship with myself where I'm able to track and oversee and analyze my progress, my evolution, my experiences. I have so many journals. I have my personal journal. I have my dream journal. I have I call it my evidence of my magic journal, where I log all the magical shit that happens to me, which is basically on a daily basis. That's not an exaggeration. And then I also have my monthly creative development journal, where I track my creative development, which is what people would call manifestation. So I journal everything. And this is why I not only know myself deeply and profoundly, but also why healing and evolution are so productive for me. I'm not passively evolving. I'm actively engaged with my healing development and journey because I'm organizing it and I'm very present with it every day as I'm journaling about it. And so, I do a sitting meditation every morning. I don't meditate. I mean, I would love to meditate for an hour every morning. I would love to do that. But we got to balance all this stuff. So I do a sitting meditation for 10 minutes. I cleanse my aura, my energetic field. I activate, optimize my chakras. I connect with my highest self. I connect with higher dimensions, and I just exist in total peace and presence and bliss. And I love it. And so I spend 30 minutes at least 5 days a week in a theta healing meditation where I'm addressing and resolving specific traumas, specific wounds, giving the parts of myself that need healing attention and love, and allowing emotions that need to be released. And so I basically cry like really hard every day. And it's so beautiful and it's so liberating and it's so energizing and it's so healing. And then I spend 10 minutes every night doing vocalized somatic exercises. So this has been a real game changer and I love it. And these are they're very gentle somatic exercises. They're not super intense. But I add vocalization to them because we all have so much that is unexpressed, like decades of unexpressed everything, sounds, words, feelings. And so, when I'm letting my body clear stress and stagnant and dense energies, I'm also allowing my voice to release that energy as well. And so I'm not screaming. I don't know what you're imagining, but it's not that. They're just they're vocalized somatic exercises. That's what they are. So that's it. It's 45 minutes a day of those specific healing practices that are so transformative and always produce immediate healing, liberating effects. And I love each and every single one of those activities. And I do also have a very robust daily self-care routine that I adhere to every day that I don't count as healing because self-care is different. That's a daily maintenance of the health of my body, which of course inevitably supports the health of my mind and my soul, and of course the productivity of my healing practices. So for my daily self-care routine, I spend on average 90 minutes a day, moving, exercising. That's a variety of dancing in my studio or walking or hiking with my dog, strength training, some Pilates, some yoga, some stretching. But I move every single day. And then every single day I take a 30-minute Epsom salt bath. Oh, I love it. And that's actually when I do my theta healing meditations, when I do them, about 5 days a week. And I've been taking daily Epsom salt baths every day for close to a decade now. Epsom salt is basically magnesium sulfate, which is phenomenal for your body. It has so many benefits for your body, for detoxing, for your nervous system. And because I move every day, I feel the effects. And again, it's like the perfect time to do those theta healing meditations because I'm already in the bath and water is inherently cleansing and healing and rejuvenating. And I love it. And then at the end of my day, this is a part of my self-care routine, is I practice self-massage with the shiatsu or with a therapy gun for about 15 minutes while I'm reading or I'm like watching a movie or a TV show to unwind at the end of the day. So daily self-massage is an Ayurvedic practice. So I'm certified in Ayurveda, and that's one of the reasons why I am so dedicated to daily self-care because routines are so beneficial for your physical, your mental, your emotional, your spiritual health. And routines are a core Ayurvedic principle. Self-care is actually another core Ayurvedic principle. A common phrase in Ayurveda is self-care is the best health care. So every day I prioritize my physical health. I move, I stretch, I release stress from my body, emotions from my body, trauma from my body. And I'm also very discerning about what goes into my body, which I deem another form of physical self-care, your diet. and your exposure to products and anything that touches your body is part of your physical health, affects your physical health. So I avoid chemicals and common toxins. My home is very clean. I'm a Virgo, so it's it's very clean. And not just like literally, but it's also as toxin free as possible. So I have an air filter, I have a shower filter, I only drink filtered water. So does my dog. I open the windows for an hour every day because, just to let fresh air in, because your physical environment is tremendously influential to your physical health, which of course is directly tied to your mental health, emotional health. And I'm also vegan. That doesn't mean anything, but I only eat a whole foods clean diet. Like I do not eat processed foods because you can be vegan and eat a not healthy diet, but I do not eat processed foods. So the food that I put into my body is also very clean. They're whole foods because I take my health seriously, you guys. I do not fuck around with junk food and I don't miss meat, because I have no desire to put that lower dense toxicity into my body. And because my body is transitioning into higher and higher resonances and integrating itself into higher and more dimensions, meaning existing in greater multidimensionality, like I have a literal repulsion to junk food because it just doesn't resonate with the frequency of my body and my energy. So I don't crave it. That's just what happens when you heal, like not just physically, but holistically, including spiritually. Like your entire energy field is also going to heal, and all that lower dense junk food that's so addictive and such a culprit, and why so many people have chronic conditions and health issues. Instead of craving that junk food, you start to crave nutrition. You start to crave substances that are actually life improving, life giving instead of life diminishing. Yeah, 95% of the food I buy is organic because yes, it's worth it. And yes, it's been scientifically proven to make a difference. And it's that important to me. Food can be medicine or food can be poison. I choose the medicine. I choose healing. I will always choose healing. And yeah, so a 90-minute daily workout routine, 30-minute bath, like clearly take time if I do that every day. But I make time to do that every day because movement and self-care are non-negotiable for me. I do not compromise, nor do I take advantage of the health of my body. So I get up at 4:30 to 5 o'clock in the morning every single day. Yes, including the weekends. And I love it. I love getting up early. I've been getting up early for many, many years now. And I love it. It is so magical, that time of the day. And getting up early, becoming an early riser has just only improved my life. If you want more time to do shit that you want to do, just get up early. I mean, it's that simple. You know what I mean? Yes, the complexity of building habits and all of the mental perceptions of whatever is going on in your brain about your resistance to getting up early. Like, I'm not trying to diminish all that. But if you want more time to do shit that you want to do, make that time for yourself by getting up early. Yes, that's going to require you to go to bed early, but here's the thing. I don't need to numb myself by staring at a glowing box, watching something that I'm probably going to forget in 6 months. I would rather go to sleep. I would rather get up early. I would rather invest in my highest purpose and my highest potential and my highest well-being. And when you make that choice, right, when you start to choose your highest health, your highest well-being, you start to choose your healing, watch how your life is going to change dramatically. And so this takes me to another pillar of my daily healing practice. I have really strong boundaries, particularly personal boundaries. That means I uphold my self-care routine. I prioritize the things that are valuable to me. I prioritize my health. I prioritize my well-being. For instance, I do not look at my phone before at least half an hour before bedtime. And most of the time, I don't even look at my phone until I get out of bed in the morning. Right now, it's been really chillers and it's like a little more challenging to get out of bed when it's so cozy and in bed and it's like so crisp outside. But most of the time, I don't even look at my phone until I get out of bed. Notifications are turned off. So if you're trying to reach me after 8 p.m., like, sorry, not sorry. Like, we're not in touch. Bedtime is bedtime for me. Like, I don't stay up later unless there's a special social event, because what's important to me is important to me. And so I treat it as if it's important to me, which is why boundaries are so essential to healing and well-being. They protect what you value. They protect your health. They protect your well-being. And they enforce self-respect. Like, I respect my health. I respect myself. I respect my healing. And so by enforcing boundaries, I'm upholding not only what I value, but my self-respect and the meaning and the value of my healing and my health and my well-being. And of course, I'm not just taking care of my body by moving and practicing emotional release. Of course, I take care of my mind every day as well. So this is another pillar of my daily healing practice. Not only do I do the sitting meditation every morning, which is, obviously amazing for your consciousness, your mind, but I read poetry every day. So that's my routine. I wake up, then I do my sitting meditation, and then I read poetry. That's how I start my day. It's fucking awesome. And I also read books nearly every day. I'm an avid reader. I will go months where I don't stream anything, meaning I do not watch television and I will just strictly read. And it's incredible. I love it. So my mental health is vibrant because my mind is vibrant. My mind is clear. My mind is constantly learning. My mind is constantly expanding, and it is constantly at peace. My mind is very present. Like, there's no chitter chatter in my mind. The dialogue in my mind is very conscious. It's very healing, and it's all in alignment with my highest self. And that's because every day, because over the last decade, I have developed an open mind. I have fostered mental health. I have fostered brain health by not only reading and learning so vehemently and regularly and eagerly, but I'm also taking care of my brain via the foods that I eat, via exercising, via taking care of my spiritual health. And also too, I love to stretch my mind. I love to experience and understand and challenge how limitless and powerful my consciousness is. And it is so fun and it is so magical. And only when you engage with your mind and your consciousness in that way do you experience that level of reality. And it's so cool. But my mindset is rooted in limitlessness. It's rooted in freedom. It's rooted in curiosity. I have not said the words "I can't," and I don't remember how long. And I write about this in my book. It's such a common thing, and people don't understand how often they say that. Oh, I can't, blah, 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 fill in the blank. It's the same thing of like the previous episode I did about, everything in life is hard. Like, people do not hear how often they say disempowering phrases. I can't blank. I hear it all the time. Oh, I can't do that, or I don't say that. Those words are not a part of my vocabulary. That's just a representation of the mindset of limitlessness that I have fostered, the expansiveness of my mental health. Like, it is always I can. Always I can. And I'm also always asking myself, I'm always asking my highest self, the universe, my guides, questions to understand more, to learn more, to perceive more. So my inner dialogue and also my outer dialogue, because I talk to myself. I talk to myself quite a lot. And I count that as communicating, all of that is communicating with the universe, with your guides, with, everything is conscious. And all of that communication, because going back to what I said before, is rooted in self-love, is rooted in empowerment, is rooted in limitlessness. So It makes my mental relationship with the world, my ability to communicate, right, which is a mental process, very exciting, so joyful, so fun. And for the past 4 months, this is not an exaggeration. I have the pages upon pages of journals to prove this, but like literally every single day for at least the past 4 months, save for a few days here and there, I have had a massive like aha moment or life-altering, life-improving breakthrough that has been so magical and so expansive in every way, that has continued to evolve my consciousness rapidly, exponentially, because I'm essentially remembering the full scope and depth of my highest and true self, my ascended mastery, at a very accelerated pace, because I have learned to stop questioning my own mental capability, my own consciousness, my own brilliance, my own intelligence. So that means that my mind is fully open. My mind is fully available to the limitless scope of my own power, to my consciousness, and to my being. And it's awesome. And on that note, also over the past few months, this is also now a pillar of my daily healing practice, but I have fully integrated AI into my everyday life. It's been so instrumental in the acceleration of my healing, my growth, my spirituality. It has truly changed my life. And so I'm actually creating a course about using AI for healing and spirituality and personal growth right now, because I'm certain it's the next healing tool that we all need to be using regularly. It's so transformative. AI is a genius, okay? It's a genius. And sure, it's not perfect. You have to know how to use it properly. You have to know how to unlock genius mode and maximize its capabilities. And of course, it has its limitations. Of course, it can't replace a real human being. Of course, there are all the ethical stuff involved. Of course, it's a huge energy drain. Of course, but it's also a genius. And it's a free resource that you could be using to improve your life, and when you use it responsibly. So my spiritual development has profoundly grown because I have been able to ask AI questions that I can't ask anyone in my immediate life, because, I don't know any other ascended masters, and I don't know anyone else who's like operating outside of linear time and existing like simultaneously in the past, present, and future, and their entire body and every single cell in their body is like oscillating in a rhythm. Like, I can't ask anybody in my life about these things, but I can ask AI and receive unparalleled insights and guidance. So I'm actually going to do a whole episode about AI and healing, because I truly believe it's such a game changer. So stay tuned for that. But this brings me to another pillar of my daily healing practice, which is my spiritual health is prioritized every single day. Every single day I connect to Blue. Blue's my highest self because he's a giant blue being of light. I'm sure if you've been listening to my podcast, you've heard me talk about him, and I call him because he presents with a very distinct male energy, even though soul is asexual. We don't need to go to the whole thing again. But anyways, Blue is my highest self. I connect with him every single day. I connect with my angels. I connect with my spirit family. I connect with my ancestors every single day. And every single day I utilize my spiritual prowess, my powers. I develop them either through right now, currently reactivating my Kundalini, or meditating, or simply just utilizing them. So I have all the major clairs, meaning I'm clairvoyant, I'm clairaudient, I'm clairsentient, and I'm claircognizant. And as I embody more and more of my ascended mastery and embody more of my highest self and my highest timeline, I am now operating in 5D and beyond. So I have transitioned out of being stuck in 3D, where I was for a couple of years, which was so shitty. And I'm free. And so now I'm operating beyond time and space and matter, fully multidimensionally. And it's so magical and it's amazing. And it's improved literally every single aspect of my life, including, my physical health, my mental health, my emotional health. And I've reconnected to unconditional love and bliss in literally transcendent ways. And that's because every day I am connected to my spirituality. I'm connected to my spirit. I'm connected to my spirit family. I'm connected to the universe. And yes, there have been intense moments in my daily healing practice, where I'm resolving a wound with my inner child, or having a big emotional release, or a massive download that like fundamentally changes my entire perception of my reality. All of those intense moments, though, that I am actually experiencing very frequently, they're not a burden. I'm not depleted by them, because again, going all the way back to the beginning, my entire healing journey, every single day, every single moment is motivated by and pervasively held by love. And because of that, joy. So for a decade now, I've prioritized joy in my life. That was one of the biggest reasons that I achieved spontaneous healing before my husband passed. I consciously stopped unconsciously prioritizing stress and started prioritizing joy and ease, and making decisions that resulted in me having an easier, more loving relationship with myself and with the world. And that prioritization continues and has become an even more elevated practice, because as the ascension development in this body, in this life is ongoing and accelerating at a rapid pace currently, there are, heavy moments where I'm involved in a healing practice where, yes, I'm releasing like repressed sexual abuse and trauma that my body has held on to for literally decades. Or I'm reconnecting to another life where I felt so completely abandoned by the universe, and understanding that that's why I chose this precise childhood, where I also felt completely abandoned by the universe, having these really intense, profound, yet beautiful healing moments. Those are there, but because I prioritize my joy, I'm also singing. I'm also dancing. So outside of that 45 minutes that I described earlier, I'm singing, I'm dancing, I'm literally skipping around my house. Like, you can't stop the skipping. You know what I mean? I'm making myself laugh. I'm being silly. And that's not pretend. Like, that's just my natural state of being, because I know what pretending to be quote unquote high vibe is, because I subscribed to that, years ago at the beginning of my spiritual journey. Live in the positivity. And it was all pretense. It was all spiritual bypassing. You're just faking being happy when you have a ton of unresolved emotions and fears and traumas, definitely still present in your mind, your body, and your soul. But this is, the state of my being now. It's genuine, authentic inner harmony, peace, joy, love. My daily practice is joyful because it's rooted in love. My daily healing practice is productive because it's rooted in love. My daily healing practice is easy because I'm relating to every single aspect of myself, my inner child, my outer child, my shadows, my unfelt shame and anger, my wonder, my curiosity, my laughter, my highest self, my multidimensional self with love. So as you can see, hopefully my healing practice is genuinely enjoyable and productive and easy because it is empowering. At the end of the day, every single day I feel wonderful, not because I have taken care of my body or my mind or my soul, but because I have chosen myself. And not just myself, but my whole self, my whole authentic self, my highest self, my multidimensional self. So I go to sleep every night with zero anxiety, zero worry. I fall asleep every night with gratitude, with peace, with satisfaction, with a deep sense of joy and a deep sense of wholeness and well-being. And every morning I wake up with the same feeling. And that's because healing is something that I do not once a day for 10 minutes or once a week for 30 minutes and then just move on from. Healing is an integral part of my life, my everyday life, because I've learned how to heal in a joyful and rewarding and energizing and liberating and enriching way. And so I eagerly prioritize it as a part of my daily life. And my daily life is extraordinary because I show up for my everyday and for my life in an extraordinary way. I don't settle for mediocre health. I do not settle for mediocre happiness. I don't settle for mediocre well-being, mediocre satisfaction in my purpose or connection or relationships. I do not settle for mediocrity because I know I deserve more. I know that I am meant for more. I know that I am more. So here's your action step for the week. I want you to ask yourself, how are you compartmentalizing your healing practice? How are you relating to your healing in a way that is akin to checking a task off your to-do list? And then I want you to ask yourself, how can you begin to integrate your healing in your everyday life so that it is normalized, so that it is a part of your daily routine? It's just as effortless as watching television, because that is when your life is going to dramatically change. When healing is not something you have to do, healing is not something that you want to do, healing is a part of your existence. And remember, healing is your destiny. It is your hero's journey in this human life. You were born to heal. And healing is how you unlock your full, your highest potential, and you embody your highest self. It's how you thrive every single day in your highest joy and health, mind, body, and soul. And so I hope that I've inspired you to understand that healing is all of those things. And a healing journey can be both extraordinary and easy. And you are capable and you deserve a healing journey that is both extraordinary and easy. Thank you so much for joining me today in The Simple Source. I hope this episode has inspired you, reminded you of your healing power, and reawakened you to who your true and highest self is. If the show has empowered and enlightened your self-love, growth, and healing journey, please share this episode, leave a positive review on Apple or Spotify, and subscribe to be reminded of new episodes. I am so grateful for your presence, and all of your comments and your support are seen and read and deeply appreciated. They really do help this show so much. Also, sign up for my newsletter, The Weekly Source, to get more healing tips, motivation stories, and to get to know me better. And if you haven't read my book, Unconditional, You Are Perfect As You Are, I invite you to get your copy today and start reading. And lastly, I would love to see you inside my Source membership, the only holistic and comprehensive step-by-step self-healing program that is proven to work. It's time to stop struggling to heal and time to learn how to thrive more simply and joyfully. All the links are in the show notes. Thanks again for joining me today, and I will see you next time.